So I'm so happy I'm about to pee myself. Okay, well, maybe not that happy, but I'm pretty happy. You see, it's my first time in India and I'm skipping down this hill, going down to see His Holiness the Dalai Lama speak for the first time in my life. And there are literally thousands of other people who are walking down there with me. So the air is just filled with this electric excitement and joy. But it took a lot for me to get here. You see, for many years, I suffered from what these days we're calling imposter syndrome. For me, that showed up as chronic depression, low self-esteem, and life-threatening addiction. But at the root of it all was just this idea that I was somehow broken, that I somehow wasn't worthy of any sort of, happiness or joy, let alone the happiness of joy of being here in India, traveling halfway across the world to have this incredible experience. Do you know that moment when you realize that your problem is no longer a problem and that there's just no way that you're going to go back to the old way of doing things? So I get to the main temple, I find my seat, and His Holiness begins his 5 days of teaching. He talks about a lot of things over those 5 days, but he keeps coming back to this idea that what we normally consider and take to be capital R reality is really not what we think it is. In fact, most of what we take for granted as being real is actually heavily influenced, if not totally influenced, by our thoughts and our concepts. The truth is, everything is constantly shifting and changing, and everything is dependent upon these infinite field of conditional factors. And then it hits me. All those thoughts that I'd had for years about being unworthy, about being an imposter, about being not good enough, they were all just thoughts. They carried no real weight in and of themselves because they were impermanent and malleable. In other words, my thoughts could change. And what's more, I had the power to change them whenever I want. The mistake that most people make when they're trying to free themselves from things like imposter syndrome is that they're trying to fix them or get rid of them as if they're a real solid thing. Now, the secret to truly banishing imposter syndrome for good is by recognizing your true, or what some people call your higher self. Your true self is completely independent of any of those thoughts of being unworthy, of being unlovable, or of being undeserving of all of the success that you've already achieved. In fact, your true self isn't harmed or diminished by them in any way. The truth is, your true self is always inherently valuable, worthy, deserving of love, happiness, and success, just as you are, all the time. Period. End of story. Now, you can get a taste of that true self-recognition experience in all sorts of ways. Deep meditation is one way, and hypnosis is another. Now, if you don't have time to spend running around the world chasing the Dalai Lama, then I have good news for you. You see, after spending years practicing meditation on my own, I found that really both ways are highly effective. And although I do recommend developing a regular meditation practice, I found that hypnosis is a way to access those deep brainwave states and your true self just that much more quickly and easily. That's why I've created this special hypnosis recording, Meeting Your Higher Self, as a way for you to get that experience, to allow you to enter into a state of deep relaxation and openness where you can experience your true self for yourself. So go ahead and drop True Self down below, and I'll tell you how to get your copy of that free hypnosis recording. And that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to hearing about how you enjoy that free session.